How far would you walk to prove you deserve to exist? Not metaphorically, literally. Because in the next 72 hours, you will march over 40 miles across the most punishing terrain in the United Kingdom, alone, with a 55-pound burden on your back, and if you are 1 minute late to the checkpoint, you're gone. No second chances, no appeals. You are a corporal in the parachute regiment, standing in the rain on a hillside in the Brecon Beacons in Wales. It is 4 in the morning. The temperature is 2 degrees above freezing. You are carrying a 55-pound burden on your back, a rifle in your hands, and a map that is dissolving in the rain. You are here because you volunteered for selection, the entry process for the 22nd Special Air Service Regiment, the most feared special forces unit in the world. Around you are 170 soldiers from across the British Armed Forces, paratroopers, Royal Marines, infantry, signals engineers. Every one of them passed a pre-selection fitness test that would break a civilian athlete. Every one of them believes they are hard enough. SAS selection exists to prove most of them wrong. The first week is called Officers' Week, even though it applies to everyone. Forced marches through the beacons, fast, heavy, relentless, 20 miles with 55 pounds, then 25, then 30. The weight doesn't change, the distance does. The staff do not run with you, they do not encourage you. They stand at checkpoints with clipboards and say nothing. If you're too slow, they write down your number. You find out later whether you passed. By day 4, 50 soldiers have voluntarily withdrawn, VW'd. They walked up to a member of the directing staff, handed over their number, and disappeared into the back of a 4-ton truck. Some were fast enough. They just couldn't take the isolation. There is no team on selection, no buddy to push you, no one to talk to on the hills. You are alone with the weight, the rain, the wind, and the map. The beacons strip away everything except the question, how much do you actually want this? You don't know the answer yet. You just keep walking, test week. The final week of the hills phase. The marches are longer, faster, heavier. The culmination is endurance, a 40-mile march over the highest peaks of the Brecon Beacons with a 55-pound burden plus a rifle, to be completed in under 20 hours. Route covers Llanfawr, Corndu, Pen y Fan, and a series of ridgelines that are fully exposed to whatever weather Wales decides to deliver. It delivers sleet. Horizontal, driven by a 30-knot wind that turns exposed skin numb in minutes. Visibility drops to 50 meters. The peat bogs on the high ground swallow your boots to the ankle with every step. You pull each foot out with a sucking sound and place it again. 10,000 times, 20,000 times. At the 18-mile mark, you fall. Your left ankle turns on a hidden rock beneath the peat. The pain is sharp and immediate. You sit in the mud and assess. You can put weight on it. It hurts. You get up and keep walking. If you stop walking, they leave you on the mountain. Nobody comes back for you. That is not a figure of speech. That is the policy. You finish endurance in 18 hours and 44 minutes. At the final checkpoint, the directing staff looks at you, checks his watch, and marks something on the clipboard. He says nothing. No congratulations, no acknowledgement. He points to a truck. You climb in. You are wet, frozen, and in more pain than you have ever experienced. Your ankle is swollen to twice its normal size. 170 started, 29 remain. You are one of them. You have passed the hills phase. The next phase is jungle training. You fly to the equatorial jungle in 72 hours. Belize, equatorial jungle. The canopy is so dense that sunlight reaches the ground for approximately 40 minutes per day. The humidity is 98%. The temperature never drops below 80 degrees. Everything here wants to eat you: mosquitoes, leeches, spiders the size of your hand, and snakes that conceal themselves in the leaf litter so perfectly you will not see them until you are close enough to be bitten. 6 weeks. You learn jungle navigation, tracking, ambush techniques, and survival. Your camp is a hammock strung between 2 trees with a poncho overhead. You sleep with your rifle and a machete. The rain comes every afternoon, not drizzle, but a vertical deluge that fills your boots in minutes and makes the ground a river of mud. Your feet rot. Literally. Tropical immersion foot, your skin turns white, softens, and begins to separate from the underlying tissue. You apply antifungal powder 3 times a day, and it does nothing because your feet never dry. Your toes crack and bleed. Every step sends a sharp, grinding pain through your soles. The medic inspects your feet and says, they'll hold. That is the medical standard. Will they hold? You learn to track. A broken twig at knee height, fresh. A boot print in mud, the edges still sharp, within the hour. A leaf turned over, someone brushed past. You follow a trail through primary jungle for 3 miles in near-total darkness, navigating by compass bearing and the sound of your own breathing. You find the enemy position. You observe it for 6 hours from 30 meters away without being detected. This is where the SAS was born, in the jungle, not in the mountains, not in the desert. In the green hell where observation, patience, and silence matter more than strength or speed. You have passed selection. You are badged. You wear the winged dagger of the Special Air Service. You are assigned to one of the 4 Sabre squadrons. A, B, D, or G. Your squadron specializes in a particular insertion method. Your squadron is mountain troop. You will learn to climb, ski, and operate in the most hostile terrain on the planet. But first, continuation training. 6 months of advanced skills, demolitions, close quarter battle, advanced field medicine, resistance to interrogation, signals, and languages. CQB Close Quarter Battle takes place in the Killing House at Stirling Lines in Hereford. Live rounds. Real hostages, other soldiers who sit in chairs while you enter the room with a heckler and cock MP5 and put rounds into targets 18 inches from their head. The drills run thousands of times. Entry, threat identification, engagement, clearance. You fire over 10,000 rounds in the Killing House. The targets are human-shaped. The distances are across the room. The standard is headshots. Body shots are considered misses because a target wearing a suicide vest needs to be incapacitated instantly. 1 round, 1 head, 1 second. Resistance to interrogation training. You are captured, hooded, and subjected to sensory deprivation, stress positions, white noise, and aggressive questioning for 36 hours. The interrogators are skilled professionals who know exactly how to find your psychological breaking point. You are cold, hungry, disoriented, and alone. The only thing you are permitted to reveal is your name, rank, number, and date of birth, the Big Four. Anything else and you fail. You do not fail. You say the Big Four over and over. Through the shouting, the manipulation, the silence, the white noise. You say the Big Four until the words have no meaning, until you are no longer sure if you're saying them out loud or only thinking them. They release you after 36 hours. You sit in a warm room, drinking tea, and your hands shake for 2 hours. You are on your first operational deployment. Your squadron deploys to Afghanistan. Your troop operates in Helmand province, the deadliest region in the country. Your team is 4 men. You move at night. You travel by foot. You carry between 80 and 100 pounds of equipment, ammunition, explosives, communications gear, medical kit, water, food, and batteries. Your mission is to identify and neutralize a bomb-making cell, a network of insurgents who have been constructing IEDs that have killed 7 British soldiers in the past 3 months. You establish an observation post in a ruined compound 300 meters from the target location. You lie in the dust for 48 hours, observing through spotting scopes, recording patterns of life, who enters, who leaves, at what times, carrying what. On the 3rd night, the strike goes in. Your team and another assault a compound. Flashbangs through the windows, doors breached. Your entry is textbook, 4 seconds from breach to clearance. 3 targets neutralized. A 4th is found hiding in a crawl space under the floor with a cell phone detonator in his hand. Your team leader puts 2 rounds through the phone. In the crawl space, you find 30 kilograms of homemade explosive and 4 pressure plate IEDs, pre-assembled and ready for placement. Each one would have killed or maimed at least 1 soldier. You destroy them in place with a controlled detonation. You walk back to the helicopter extraction point in the dark. The stars are extraordinary, so many that the sky looks white. Nobody speaks. This is the work. Quiet, violent, invisible. Nobody will know you were here. 5 years in the regiment. You are a sergeant leading a 4-man patrol. The selection and development of your team is your responsibility. You choose operators based on complementary skills, 1 demolitions specialist, 1 signals expert, 1 medic, and yourself as the patrol commander and navigator. You deploy to a country that the British government does not officially acknowledge you are operating in. Your mission is hostage rescue, 2 British citizens held by a militia group in a compound identified through signals intelligence. The compound is in a rural area, surrounded by open ground on 3 sides. A direct assault will be detected from 100 meters away. You plan a covert approach through a wadi, a dry riverbed that runs within 60 meters of the compound wall. Movement is at night, without night vision goggles for the first 2 kilometers to avoid IR signature detection. You move in total dark, navigating by compass and pace count, feeling the ground with each step. It takes 3 hours to cover 4 kilometers. At the compound, your demolitions operator places a shaped charge on the gate. The breach is synchronized with a diversionary explosion behind the compound. The gate blows inward. You enter. The hostages are in the second room on the left, guarded by 2 fighters. Your number 2 eliminates both in under 2 seconds. The hostages are alive, blindfolded, dehydrated, but alive. The extraction takes 7 minutes. You move to the helicopter pickup point with both hostages. The helicopter arrives. You hand them to the flight paramedics. One of them grabs your arm and says, "Thank you." You nod. You do not give your name. You are back in Hereford 3 days later. Nobody mentions the operation. It did not happen. You are the SSM, the senior enlisted soldier in the squadron. 60 operators under your supervision. Their training, their welfare, their discipline, their equipment. You report directly to the squadron officer commanding a major, and together you run the most lethal 60-person unit in the British military. You have been in the regiment for 12 years. You have deployments to Afghanistan, Iraq, Sierra Leone, and 3 countries you cannot name. You have been wounded twice, a bullet through the left calf in Basra and shrapnel in the right shoulder from an RPG in Helmand. Both wounds healed. Both ache in cold weather. You oversee the squadron's training cycle: counterterrorism, direct action, special reconnaissance, hostage rescue. The regiment rotates one squadron through counterterrorism duty, the team on standby for domestic incidents, and that squadron must be ready to deploy anywhere in the United Kingdom within 30 minutes. You rehearse at full speed, assault aircraft, buildings, ships, trains, and oil platforms. A terror incident. An armed group has seized a building in central London. Civilians inside. The Metropolitan Police request military assistance under Operation Temper. Your squadron deploys by helicopter from Hereford. You are on the ground in 54 minutes. The assault plan is developed in 90 minutes from drone footage and building schematics. Your teams enter simultaneously from the roof and the ground floor. The building is cleared in 3 minutes and 47 seconds. 4 hostage-takers neutralized. All civilians recovered alive. The news reports that specialist police units resolved the incident. Your name, your unit, your involvement, none of it exists in the public record. You have commissioned as an officer, a rare move for an SAS NCO, but one that the regiment encourages when the right person presents themselves. You attend the Royal Military Academy, Sandhurst, on a shortened commission course and return to Hereford as a captain and operations officer. You plan operations at the strategic level now. You liaise with MI6, GCHQ, the CIA, and Allied Special Operations Forces. You sit in briefing rooms at Vauxhall Cross and hear intelligence that shapes your understanding of the world in ways that most people never access. Threats, targets, alliances, betrayals, the invisible architecture of global security flows through your desk. You plan a joint operation with American Special Forces to capture a high-value target in a denied area. The planning takes 3 months. The operation window is 14 hours. 12 operators from the SAS and 16 from American forces move by helicopter across a border that does not appear in any official communication. The target is acquired. The extraction is clean. The diplomatic channel is never activated because the operation officially never occurred. This is the nature of the work at this level. You exist in the gap between what governments say and what governments do. The ethical terrain is complex. Every operation you plan will save lives. That is the justification. But the methods exist outside the frameworks that most citizens understand or would accept if they knew. You carry this knowledge quietly. It changes you. You are the co of 22 SAS Regiment, the entire unit, 4 Sabre squadrons, a training wing, a signals squadron, and the operational planning staff. You report to the Director Special Forces, and through him to the Chiefs of Staff and the Prime Minister. A global crisis escalates. British nationals are trapped in a destabilizing country. Evacuation routes are closing. A conventional military operation would take weeks to organize. You have 48 hours. You deploy 2 squadrons, 120 operators, to secure an airfield, establish a protected corridor, and evacuate 412 British citizens. The logistics are staggering. Airlift, fuel, ammunition, medical support, communications, and diplomatic clearance, all coordinated across multiple agencies in real time. The evacuation takes 31 hours, 3 contacts with hostile forces, no British casualties. All 412 citizens are on aircraft and en route to safety within 2 days. The operation is reported by the media as a diplomatic evacuation supported by military assets. You watch the news from the operations room in Hereford. None of it mentions the SAS. You visit the bereaved families of operators killed on past deployments. You attend the regiment's memorial service at St. Martin's Church. The walls carry plaques with the names of every SAS soldier killed since the unit's founding in 1941. You read the names you know. There are too many. You are 54 years old, 28 years in the British Army, 22 of them in the Special Air Service. You are retired not by choice, by biology. Your body no longer performs at the standard the regiment requires. Your left knee has been replaced. Your right shoulder is held together by surgical anchors. You have chronic tinnitus from years of breaching charges and unsuppressed weapons fire. You sleep poorly. That started in Afghanistan and never stopped. You live in a cottage in the Herefordshire countryside, 12 miles from Stirling lines. Close enough that on still nights you can hear the demolition range. The sound is a low thump that arrives half a second after the flash on the horizon. You listen to it the way others listen to rain. It is familiar. It is home. You write nothing down. You publish no memoir. You give no interviews. This is the culture. The regiment's motto is "Who dares wins," but its operational philosophy is closer to "Who knows stays quiet." You have friends who have written books, and they are no longer welcome in Hereford. The regiment does not forgive indiscretion. A young trooper comes to visit you. He is fresh from continuation training. He has the same look you had: hungry, sharp, cert. He asks you what the hardest part of serving in the SAS was. You think about the hills in the Beacons, the jungle in Belize, the killing house, the interrogation, the nights in Afghanistan, the operations that had no name and left no trace. Going home, you say. The hardest part is going home and pretending to be normal, because you're not normal anymore. You've seen things and done things that you will never talk about, and the people you love will never understand why you are the way you are. And and you cannot explain it to them, not because it's classified, because the words don't exist. He nods. He doesn't understand yet. He will. You walk him to the door. He drives off toward Hereford. You stand in the doorway and look at the hills. The Brecon Beacons are visible on the horizon, low, dark, rain-soaked. The hills where it all started. The hills that asked you a question 30 years ago. How much do you want this? You close the door. The kettle is on. The house is quiet. The question never stops.